Sure. There's some interesting New York events coming up in the world of boxing. Mariano, what's happening?
Next weekend is a very busy weekend for boxing in New York City. On Friday, out of the Bronx, New York, we have Punchin' at the Paradise, produced by Golden Boy Promotions and Star Boxing. We have a couple of local talents. One is Thomas Riley out of the Bronx, and you have Adrian Broner fighting out of Philadelphia. And that will be televised on Telefutura. The next day, May 15, we have the big one, Madison Square Garden, WBA lightweight champion Amir Khan faces Paulie Magic Man Malignaggi out of New York City, and you have the return of Victor Ortiz against veteran Nate Campbell. We're also going to have some local prospects on that card. We have Danny Jacobs and Tor Hamer on that card.
Thanks,
Should be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're definitely interested, especially because the fight's going to be at Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of boxing, and it features Brooklyn's own Paulie Malignaggi. Now, they used to say about Muhammad Ali, or he used to say about himself, that he floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. Paulie floats like a butterfly and stings like a butterfly. An angry butterfly that I never want to get into the ring with, but a butterfly nonetheless. Guys, Paulie's the underdog in this fight. He's coming in against a prospect who's got a lot of knockouts on his record. What are the keys for Malignaggi if he wants to score the upset in this fight?
Keys to be more of himself. He's a pure boxer. He doesn't have a lot of knockouts, so the only thing I could think of him doing is just moving and boxing and trying to befuddle Amir Khan, because Amir Khan is pretty fast himself and he has rapid fire punches and he got knockout power. Malignaggi has a pretty good whiskers. His fight against Cotto showed it in other fights himself, but he's been rocked a few times. So and Khan doesn't have a great chin either. I wonder if Malignaggi can actually maybe buzz him a bit or maybe make him honest. So I think that what he needs to do is just box.
Right. Aris, you and me are going to be doing Punch Zone for that fight. Paulie's been on the Twitter page talking about he's going to knock out Khan, who, in all fairness, has been rocked and knocked out before. What do you think about Paulie's qualifications?
It's gonna be a good fight. Paulie now, I got to give him a lot of credit. He when he got rid of Buddy McGirt, who's a great trainer, but at the same time just wasn't made for Paulie. He has a new trainer with him now. He's been working well, and Paulie's got back to what made Paulie back in the day, boxing well, using his legs, using his feet, good footwork, a nice steady jab, and he has to use that to a full effect against Amir Khan when it comes this coming Saturday for this fight. He has to use his tools to the full effect, always stay on the move, and he can't try trading with Khan. But he has good enough boxing skills that he has a good chance he can do that. That's what it really comes down to. Paulie has to fight his fight and stay disciplined. He's not going to try. You can't slug with him. Khan hits too hard for that. He can't try to go toe to toe like I just said. And if he boxes and tries to stay a disciplined fight, could be a very interesting night.
Definitely. Now, Pete, Freddie Roach also trains Amir Khan. What do you have to say about this fight?
Well, I'm a friend of Paulie's also, and I just got respect for both of those guys, and I hope they take for what they need in that fight, which is a victory. I know both of them coming in to take the victory, but for the most part, I know Paulie's going to be Paulie, and I don't know, Amir Khan so much. I seen him and I met him. Seemed like a nice guy, but at the end of the day, he don't have to be a nice guy to me. He have to, prove himself in the ring with Paulie, and Paulie been up in there with, pretty tough opposition and proved himself, and it's not how you fight. It's, sometimes in Paulie's case, it's how he lost against Cotto that made him the superstar that he is today. So, I give him that brownie point that he's been up in there with, a lot of tougher opposition. He's always been underdog.
Right. Now, on the undercard, we have another interesting fight. We've got a young up-and-coming fighter, Victor Ortiz, who 2 fights ago went through hell with Maidan, and now
Marcos
Maidana. Now he fights Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior, who he's been on the shelf for a while. He has a couple of fights fall through, but he's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Guys, what do you think is going to happen in that fight?
A little bit long in the tooth. He moved up in weight because he couldn't make 135 anymore. I think he's small for 140. He's tough. He's a good challenge for Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz has to prove himself after he quit in that fight. We all know he quit in that fight. He has a lot to prove. He's under the radar, and It's an interesting fight. I think that Victor needs to answer a lot of questions for this fight, so that's what we're all waiting for.
Right. Victor definitely has all the physical tools. The Maidana fight exposed. Maybe there's a mental tick in there that he needs to correct. And Nate Campbell is not the guy you want to be in the ring with when you've got that kind of.
If you're not
flaw.
ready,
Right.
he will expose that. He did that to Juan Diaz, and that's why he took his title.
Aris, do you think Nate Campbell is capable of doing to Victor what he did to Juan Diaz?
Nate's experienced, and there's no dog in him. He's a very, very tough guy, and he's gonna come at Victor Ortiz. There's no doubt about it. Problem is that he's looked a little ragged in his last couple of fights. He struggled mightily with Ali Funica. That was weight issues. Then when he wasn't struggling with weight issues, then he fought Nate Campbell. When he fought Tim Bradley.
Timothy Bradley, right?
Granted, Bradley's a very good fighter, but he looked really bad. And so it's just a matter of how much he has left. If he has a lot left in this fight, trust me, I think he has a very good chance of pulling this off. Victor Ortiz did not look very good in his comeback fight and against a relatively lesser opponent. So it's a good crossroads fight. If Ortiz can come through this unscathed and look very impressive, I'll be impressed with him. I think he'll be able to put that Maidana experience behind him. But Nate Campbell's coming to fight, so we'll see.
Pete, any thoughts about this fight?
Like he said, Victor got a lot to prove, and sometimes that can be too much for a fighter. Just let's not hope that it breaks him in the fight. Nate, he is a veteran. Sometimes veterans know how to dig deep down and pull an upset. So, like I said, I'm a fan of the sport first.
Right.
And, I just go with the logic, because boxing is like more than just the mental. Is how you prepare, and it's tons that go into a fighter's mind once he step in that ring, and have to have those big lights on him and be able to step up. So let's see who's going to be able to step up in that fight.
Right, and looks like we just got an email. This is somebody who wants to talk about